Kings and queens, boys and girls, welcome to another epic episode of Scars with Nokwethaba. Well, guys, you already know in this show we celebrate and embrace the power of survival and victory. Mina ke nguNokwethaba Kazulu Nomangcombo, and I am your host. Today I am not alone. I'm with Thozama. He's a theater maker. I mean, guys, he has a production called Antigone that won Glass Crown Awards in 2017. And he is a digital communication assistant at the Market Theater. He's an all-round artist. Now, guys, please help me welcome Thozama.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for that introduction.
You know what? It's so weird because this is the first time I actually see you. Like, we actually met. But it feels like I've known you for years. I don't even know why is that.
We are kindred spirits. I think that's the only explanation. We are kindred spirits. There's no other explanation. Because even when I walked in, it was as if I've known you for years. I've seen you before.
Exactly. That's how I feel also.
Your energy literally greeted me from the door. So, yeah, kindred spirits.
Probably because I've been following you on Facebook and I'm like, he's doing an amazing work.
Funny enough, I've been following you too, because I watched, I don't know if it was the first season of Scars, and I was like, oh my God, this is such a great initiative. And look at me, I'm sitting here now.
And when you actually said I must invite you, I was speaking to Katie. I wanted to tell Katie to tell you to invite you for me. Imagine.
That's amazing. Thank you for having me, though.
Wow. Okay, so we have a white card there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so basically this is just an introduction of who you are. So now I get to know you in person, and other people who are watching know you in person, who you are, your upbringing. Tell me, before you went through your scar, who you were at that time.
Who was I? I think I was a very confident kid. I think if I were to use an analogy, I was a very much blank canvas. I was very much pure, and I did everything as a kid. I did literally everything. I was very enthusiastic, very inquisitive. I was an athlete. I ran track. I represented my province in, I think, what was it? 500 meters. Yeah, I was an athlete. I was debating. I was in the debate team.
You were just that kid, didn't you?
I was that kid.
All over.
You were never going to tell me anything. And let me tell you, I wanted to do everything. And I think I was just born with that spirit of saying, what can I do next? What can I do next? There was literally nothing that I couldn't do. And I was proud, or I am still proud of myself for that, because through that I've managed to experience life in a very different way because of my enthusiasm as a child, and because I was able to participate in so many things. I really got to open my mind a bit more, so I was really excited, and because I had a family that supported everything I did.
Okay, tell me, how does it feel to grow up in Eastern Cape? Did you grow up in Makaya? You guys call it as Lalini, or you grew like? Tell me that.
Yes, the kulele is lalini. I did everything. So the nice thing is lalini is that you live in this bubble.
Yeah.
It's a bubble as lalini. So you don't have any kind of exposure to the outside world, because so the only thing so the only interface with the outside world was through radio. Now, so it's not that much of an
What
interface.
is that, imipanga?
That thing where they tell you about this person died when and where, and this is when they're going to be buried. So
okay,
that was literally it. And then if it's not that, then umamelo konondo mkhulu. So it was pretty amazing, Emakaya, because what you saw is what you appreciated, So you knew, but I knew, but okay, or kabolele. After that siyodlala umandlwane, udlala imini yonke sani xa ubuya endlini ubuya udinwe uyipapa. But like that was life for us, and I really cannot say that life says lalini was bad in that regard because for us, we're just hopeful, we're just young and really
Right?
hopeful.
Isn't it weird when you are exposed to other parts of the world, and then that's when you actually realize that there's something probably wrong with where I grew up. But that time when you're growing up, it's just like everything. You feel like you have everything together.
Kusweet nekhala, babe. Kusweet nenyongo. Just
Sweet nenyongo.
everything iyashelela uchophe bhotolo. No, honestly, because you don't have anything to counter what you have. You don't have anything that's going to say what you have is less. You don't have anything that's going to say this is unhappiness or this is happiness or whatever. And I think that's what made it amazing. The fact that there were no counter narratives. What
True.
you saw is what you saw and is what you
And
had.
you're okay with
And
it.
you were okay with that. There was no
Right?
saying, I'm going to strive to go to America. There was no...
Because this was America for you.
Exactly.
Okay, let's not waste time. So, guys, we're going to the break. Please stay with us. He's about to take us through his scar. So, stay tuned. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Scars with Nokwethaba. And guys, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends to tell their friends to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Scars with Nokwethaba. Ngisahleli ke mina la noThozama, and he is about to take us through his scars. So please be with us. Okay, you're a theater maker. I mean, you have the whole production that won the whole award. So I know that creatives, when they see colors or object or any shapes, they think of something. So when you look at that color, red, what comes into your mind?
Oh my God. The first thing that comes into my mind is pain. Pain. Pain.
Yeah. So it is what it represents, because we all go through different pains, like different phases in our lives. And there was a time where you went through that phase. So I want to take you a little bit back there. Ukuthi usibuyisele kancane so that we can really understand your victories and how you actually went through that. Because most of the time we even forget that we have went through so many things and we've overcame those things. We're just like living and living and living and not reflecting. So right now, I just want to take you to that part where you actually reflect in your life. Uguti, how was it being in that red color?
Sure. Oh my God. And I think immediately when you said that, I think it took me back to the time when it started. We were just talking about my childhood now and how enthusiastic I was, how happy of a child I was. But I remember the time when all of that changed. And it started when I, first of all, got an injury. And that meant that I couldn't run track
Run
anymore,
again. Oh.
right? So I had forfeited what I thought would be my career path, right? Because I thought I was going to be an athlete, right? So with me having to sustain that injury, it meant that I can't run track anymore. But then it meant that I was going to look for other alternative things to do. And
Right.
the other alternative thing for me to do, and very natural thing for me to do, was to play netball. I was part of the A team. Like, I didn't even have to, they take you through trials and things like that. I didn't go through trials. I was just playing. The first time that I played, they were like,
It's the one.
you are going to the A team.
Wow.
But that did not come without a significant change in who I am, because that is when people started telling me how wrong I was. That is when people started telling me and rejecting me for who I was, because then boys don't play netball.
True.
Boys just don't play with girls at all, So here you are, this young boy who's now all of a sudden playing netball with girls. It really left a lot of questions in people's heads, and they couldn't keep them in their heads, and they started blurting it out. I remember there was a time when they would call me, "Kuthe nawe noyigusha ezibhokhweni." There was a time also when they told me that I was gay even, but when they told me that, it meant that there were spaces that I was not accepted in anymore. And when you're a child like myself who cannot be tamed or contained, you can imagine what that does. And I think
To
that
you.
really strained my self-esteem. I really started seeing myself as wrong. So each and every time I saw people, I wanted to impress them so that they don't, I guess,
They don't find something wrong to say about you.
exactly, you know, because I mean, not to blow my own horn, but I was a very nice person. I am a very nice person, so I didn't want people to think of me in a very negative way. So I always wanted them to have beautiful things to say about me, but they didn't, you know, and that really tore me apart, and it messed up with my self-esteem. Just to continue, as
Okay.
it just got to me now, and I think I did say that my family was supportive of me, but there was a time when I grew up in a very Christian family. There was a time when me playing netball also became problematic because now it exposed how gay I was, and gay at the time was something that you cannot be, Nokwethaba. And I say that because I remember a specific time when I was taken to church so that they can pray for me with like this blessing oil. I guess to pray the gay away, but I was never the same after that. I was never the same. I just got into this shell where I really thought, this is it. You're not good enough. You are not even good enough of a human being for even your own family. I started not talking to them about certain things, kept things to myself, and I was never that person.
Isn't it how funny when we grow up as kids? You're just happy, you're bubbly, you don't know anything. And then adults who have went through life, instead of kind of encouraging you to grow up to the best ability of yourself, and they kind of want to shrink you into, I don't know, maybe into their insecurities or into the wrong things that they've went through, and then they just kind of make you sit in a shell where you kind of can't be who you really are. Because that's what I get when you say that. I mean, like growing up, even myself, I have people that have said things that you're just like, but why would you say that? Like, why would you project that to me?
I think it's very true when they say hurt people hurt, and that's just the deal. Hurt people hurt, and whether they realize that they are hurt or not, but hurt people will hurt you, and it is that projection that in turn makes you a hurt person, that in turn makes you hurt other people, and I think it becomes a vicious cycle. That's what we do not understand, and I'm not one who is going to say because I want to grow up in Makaya, because I want to grow up in a specific space where they're not exposed to certain things. You don't have to be exposed to a certain thing. You're exposed to me. I'm a human being. Why couldn't you see the human in me before you saw the gay in me? You are the one who introduced the gay in me, and you are the one who demonized me for being gay. So you are the one who has to sit with that, and now you have projected that to me. How do you not think that I'm going to walk around in the world demonizing other people as well? But
Right.
also, don't you think I'm going to demonize myself? And you still expect me to be this person who's going to take this family out of the poverty that we are living in. You still how do you expect me to do that with a low self-esteem? You know, there's no way. There's no way. Instead, we are all going to be in the same spot where we left each other. We're going to remain in the same spot, and I think that's why, for me, what hurts me the most, rather, is how people first tell you what you are and demonize you, and then once that label has stuck, they take themselves back. And
Right.
it now becomes your thing, and you have to deal with it, you know. And it takes time. It's easy to project, but it takes time for a person to, I guess, wash themselves off of those particular labels and identities, because it becomes your identity in a way.
And I feel like you've dealt with it so perfectly that you can, like me as an example, I'm just a person away. I've never met you. We meet today, but I've known you. I've followed you. You have impact in a certain way, and that shows that somehow you had a way of overcoming that. So when we come back after this break, I want us to go through your victories, Uguti. How did you say, you know what? I don't care what you all think. I'm going to do my thing. So please, guys, stay with us. ngisahleli naye uThozama ke bafethu nizwile isika sakhe, so he is about to take us through his victories, so please stay with us. Njengamanje we are on the blue card. Listen, we have conquered. Whatever they said, whatever they are saying even now, it doesn't matter anymore because you're just who you are. And that what really attracted me to you. So I just want to know, Guti, how did you deal with it?
Oh my God, how did I deal with it? I used what they used against me, against them.
Okay.
So I found my own definition of God. I found my own definition of what it means to be Christian. I found my own definition of what it means to be a spiritual being having a human experience. And I think that revolutionized my whole entire existence. It revolutionized my whole entire life. Because the moment that I stopped wearing their labels like a crown, the moment that I stopped wearing their labels like a cloak, that is when I got to understand that I needed to define myself for me. And
Right.
the moment that I managed to do that, that was a game changer.
Bruh. I'm glad that I met you now, actually, this version.
Because trust me, this is a better version of me. It amazes me too, because this is a much better version of me. I can't believe that I got to this point. And still, I am at this point, but it doesn't mean that the work is over. You know,
True.
the work still continues. The
True.
internal work still continues because there are triggers. You know, there are certain things that are going to trigger you, and you remember, oh my God, this I haven't dealt with. This I haven't dealt with. So you still have to go back and deal with a lot of things. So the work does really.
So do you really think that sometimes all that has happened has literally worked for your own good? Or you're just like, no, I didn't deserve it.
No, you know what? It depends on what day or what day it is. Because trust me, there are certain days when I'm just like, no. This was not supposed to be my life. This was not supposed to be my life. And that's why I'm saying that I started defining God for myself. And these are the kind of conversations I have with God to say, why me? Why did you put me in that particular position? Because I don't feel that I deserved it. I did not deserve it. But if you look back at scripture and you realize that all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord. And then to answer your question, I think on those particular days when I remember that,
Yeah.
then I guess I can say that things did work out very well for me. And I think it is because of my scars that I'm the person that I am, and it is because of my scars that I create the kind of art that I do. So it has really served me in more ways than one.
I can't wait to see your art. I hope you have something coming soon, and please let me know.
Of course, I do have something coming soon. It's in the pipeline. I can't really talk much about it, but I can talk about the framework of it.
Okay.
I'm working on something called The Void You Call Gay. So I think for the longest time we have been defined, I think the LGBTQ plus community, the LGB and T and everything else is sex and gender, you know, but I don't want to be defined as sex and gender. I want
Right.
to know what the void they call gay is. What is the space in between? What am I? What is my actual identity? Because I mean, I'm only calling myself that because it's what I see other people call themselves or what I hear other people call themselves. But I feel like there is a void that exists within me that has absolutely nothing to do with sex, that has absolutely nothing to do with me being homosexual, because homosexual then means that I'm attracted to other men or I sleep with other men. But what if I'm not sleeping with anyone? But I'm just this feminine person.
Right.
Where do I take that? What does that mean? So, yeah, I'm working on that, and hopefully it's going to revolutionize and help a lot of young people who really want to define themselves for themselves.
Please do. Please let us know. Please tag me wherever, when that thing is ready, I'm going to come and watch.
I will.
And thank you so much for coming. And I feel like this interview was very enlightful. Yeah? Is that a word, enlightful?
Enlightening.
Yeah. It was enlightening. And thank you so much for coming. Continue to do what you do. It inspires people out there. I'm one person who's also inspired. The words that you put out there, everything, man, about you is so, I don't know. You give me Katie's vibes. This is what I said. If you watched our interview with Katie, this is how I was. And you're just giving me that energy. Thank you so much for coming, guys. That's it for us. See you on the next episode.